My name is Caitlin, Customer Success Manager here at SONAR, and welcome back to With SONAR. This webinar is designed to explore tools and use cases to enhance your overall SONAR experience. Last episode, we went over our LTL analysis and talked through how you can utilize SONAR to monitor the LTL market. This week, I'm going to highlight our enhancements to our batch rate intelligence tool, which has been upgraded from a bulk lane rate lookup to an RFP pricing analysis workspace. The tool can be found under applications at the top of your screen. And once you click on the tool, if you have not uploaded a template previously or since the update was rolled out, this will be blank. So to download the template, you will just click the download template that you'll fill out. The template is pretty self-explanatory and not much has changed from the previous template. You can still use the previous template if you prefer. However, we did add a bid rate and an accessorial column, which are optional, but we highly recommend filling out the bid rate to fully utilize the RFP workflow. Now, once you fill out the template, you will click on Upload File. So you'll select the file from your downloads, and then you will be prompted for a few selections that are different than previous. So when you're uploading that bid rate, you'll want to select if you have this formatted as a flat rate or a rate per mile. And also if this rate is going to be line haul only or if it's an all-in rate. If you have any accessorial charges, also just specify if those are going to be a flat or a rate per mile. And then if you have an existing file already uploaded, it will ask you to if you want to append the previous file or if you would like to replace it completely. Then you will upload your file. The file should not take too long to process. Obviously, the larger the file, the longer it can take, but you can upload up to 5,000 lanes at a time. And one feature that we've upgraded within the new tool is you can now adjust any errors directly in the tool without having to get that error log or not really being sure and removing them from the file. You can just make those adjustments within the tool. So anything wrong with a zip, country code, or equipment type, you can easily update and then submit your file to upload. Now, once the file is uploaded, you will see the cards across the top of your screen. So we have the total lanes. So that would be the total lanes that are included with the bid. Then we have that average bid versus forecast difference. So this is showing you the average difference between your bid rate and the projected market rate across all lanes within the file. So you can easily see if your overall bid strategy is priced above or below the market expectations. Then we have the average lane score, which is just showing you the average lane score across the entire bid. So you can easily see the general difficulty of the uploaded lanes. So is this on the more difficult side? Is this on an easier to secure capacity from a market perspective? Or is it right there in the middle, like the file I have uploaded? The lanes at margin risk is going to show the number of lanes where the bid rate falls below the projected market rate by more than the selected threshold. Now, the threshold is going to default to 10%, but this can be adjusted under your filters. And lastly, we have the high volatility. So this is going to show the number of lanes that fall under the high volatility based on that forecast trend that you've selected, so that you can quickly identify those lanes that may require any additional review before you submit your pricing. You can drill these down if you want to click on either card and only see those high volatility lanes as well as those margin risk again to see any that require that additional review. These cards really should allow you to quickly identify whether your bid is healthy overall or if you have any specific areas that you need to fine tune further. Now that we go into this lane level info, so you can easily filter if you wanted to look at a specific origin, destination, you can click the filter within the table. And then we also have this filter section so that you can drill this down further. So this is where you will upgrade or update that forecast period. Also choose the rate metric that you're returning within the table. Do you want that current average? Do you want the higher threshold or the lower? You can filter by equipment type, country, state, if you want to filter by those higher volatility or lower volatility lanes. And this is where you would adjust that risk variance that you are selecting. Now, within the table, we're showing you the date that this has been uploaded, the origin, destination, the country. So a lot of this is the information that you're filling out within the template and just the lane level view that you're looking at. As you scroll over, then you'll go into the bid rate that you've uploaded as well as the accessorials. Both of these can be adjusted within the table as well. So as you see the market conditions and you want to make adjustments to that bid rate, you could easily do so within the tool. And then if you forgot accessorials or if you want to add that on to your price, you can add this here. Then we'll give you the current spot rate and how this has fluctuated in the last year. So you can see overall how much movement has happened on a spot basis for the lane, as well as contract, the current value, and then the fluctuation for year over year for those longer term pricing movements. Then we have the forecast trend, and this is showing you that trend sparkline for the selected forward-looking time frame. So currently we're looking at a 12-month forecast. So it's showing you how those rates are trending in the next 12 months. And then we're also going to point out when peak season for those rates are. So this lane seems to really be peaking around November and February. So you want to keep that in mind for the higher end of your cost. Then we'll show you the forecast rate, which is going to be the projected median market rate for the selected time period. So this is again going to be that 12-month because that's what we have selected. The bid versus forecast is showing you the percent difference between your bid rate and the projected median market rate. So if there's any accessorial costs, that is factored in as well. Volatility, this is showing based off the changes with the forecast over the time period you selected. So again, that 12-month time frame that we have, the greater the changes and fluctuations, the higher the volatility, the less change we're seeing take place. That's going to be on that lower end. Then we have the lane score. This is not new to the tool, but you still have that real-time market and capacity indicators directly in the tool. So the lane score is going to be your long-term capacity indicator. It's showing you how difficult to easy it is to secure capacity from a market perspective. And this is going to be a 3-month look back. So really, on a quarterly basis, how difficult is this lane to get those contract carriers on? Then we'll show you the rejection percentage, which is showing you the carrier sentiment on that market as of yesterday. So that is your real-time capacity indicator. How difficult is it going to be for me to get this lane covered today? And then we're showing you the weeks at risk. So you can see how your bid rate and how many weeks at risk that is putting you in your margin. So within each lane, you can also click and it's going to drill that down further to see the lane details. So each row is expanded, gives you a deeper view into each lane and the overall projected conditions. So we have this quick contextual summary call out. So this is explaining the lane's bid position in pretty simple terms so you can easily understand the lane and how your bid rate is comparing. Is it high? Is it low compared to what's forecasted in the time frame? We also have that spot rate breakout. So if you want some more information on the current spot conditions, you can dive a little deeper here, as well as contract rate, just to see, how they're comparing with each other and if you wanted a little more context behind each rate. Then to the right, this is going to be the bid position matrix. So this is helping summarize the relationship between the bid rate and the projected market rate. So in yellow here, we have that bid rate that you've uploaded. Then we're showing you the forecast median. So this is going to be the projected median for the time period that you've selected. And then we have that percent difference versus the forecast. So how far is your bid sitting above or below the projected rate on average? And then how many weeks is that going to put you at risk? So the percentage of weeks where your rate is falling below that projected market rate. So in this case, you would be losing money 100% of time with that bid rate. So that's telling me that I need to make some adjustments to this bid rate if this is a lane I want to be profitable on. The chart below is just breaking that down even further so you can see on a long-term basis for the 12-month outlook, this is the bid rate that you've put in, and then those are those projected forecast median and then the projected value in the next 12 months. Lastly, within this card, we also have a partnership with GenLogs to find capacity. So if you know this is a lane that you're going to struggle on within your network and you want to search GenLogs vetted carriers directly in the tool, you also have the ability to do so. Should not take too long to load, but anytime I am on a screen share, it is a little bit longer. But then you can see GenLogs vetted carriers get direct phone and email information as well. You know, do they have broker authority, total power units, to get some additional context for the carriers you could potentially work with. Now, you also have the ability to export this data by simply clicking the download data, and then it will download into an Excel file for you to work directly in Excel, or once you have finished analyzing the bid and you're ready to send this back to your customer, you can easily do so with the export option. Now, when you click download, it is going to ask you to choose your forecast period. You can choose all four, and it will just download 4 separate files. So if that is your preference, you can do so as well. Overall, this tool helps enhance your RFP strategy so you can analyze bids faster, prioritize the lanes that need the attention, and export enriched data to support your pricing decisions. This is currently available within your SONAR subscription and can be found under applications if you currently have batch rate intelligence access. If you have any questions or if you would like to talk through this further, you can reach out to us at cs@gosonar.com or your account manager. We're always happy to help. And I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of With SONAR, and will come back to hang out with me next time. If you have any requests for future episodes or tools that you'd like to see, you can leave them in the comments below. And I hope you have a great weekend.